And I'm back. Right. Yes, I did see Power Wash was getting SpongeBob themed DLC with achievements. Hopefully they will fix the achievements they broke as well. But yes, so final game of the Joe case is called Weeping Willow. Thank you very much to Sometimes You, the publisher, for a copy of the game. We also have a giveaway. I need to do a pin. Hang on. I'm just going to pick a random keyword. And then let me just refresh and set up the giveaway. Okay, so right, so yes, Sometimes You, published by Sometimes You, developed by Technocat Games. This game came out on the 3rd of May. Yes, and thank you to the publisher for giving me a copy of this game for streaming purposes, and ID at Xbox for the code for the giveaway. This is out on Xbox, Switch, PlayStation, PC and Mac. And on Xbox it is £4.19 or $4.99. Weeping Willow is a kinetic visual novel in the genre of a detective story. I don't know what they mean by kinetic, because I guess that has like a sciencey, physicsy thing, but maybe, I don't know. We will have to see, won't we? Which takes place in the small medieval town of Weidendorf. This town was quarantined due to an outbreak of plague in poor neighbourhoods. The story begins with the mysterious disappearance of the husband of the main character, Baron von Wolf. A few days later, he was found in the local parish of the Scarlet Rose Order, but the Baroness claims she doesn't recognise her husband. Other people confirm the identity of the impostor and no one believes her. Because of the plague quarantine, the young Baroness is a captive of her own home and begins to seriously fear for her life. After this, a series of dramatic events unfold that will irrevocably change her life. This short story will delight its players with a fascinating plot tied to intrigues, betrayals, and conspiracies. Okay, colour me intrigued. Okay, it's also £1.69 on Steam for folks on PC or Mac. Fair enough. I don't tend to write down the other prices because I'm playing on Xbox. I have an Xbox code, and I have an Xbox code to give away. There is, however, a link. Just switch it over to the game. There is a link there if you want to find out more about the games today. Just on different platforms and find out their prices. So Sometimes You do a really good job of porting games. And just look at that logo, Technocat. I love it. So there is a seizure warning for this one. Weeping Willow. Ooh, interesting color controller. I've never noticed. I wonder if all the Sometimes You ones have like a different color controller. This one is a very, very vibrant lime. Okay, so we've got gallery. And we're looking at the settings because it's loud. Right, okay, that's better. So I'll put the timer on, but it said short. I don't know how short is short. The fireplace room in the house on the hill was shaded by pre-dawn twilight. Burning logs crackled in the hearth, breaking the silence in the room. Sorry, I realised that may have come across as flippant, Leaky. Thank you for putting the price for the Steam game in the channel. I appreciate that. What I meant was I don't have the time to go find the price on every single platform, so I do appreciate you sharing that. That's why I have the game command now with the links, to save me having to, you know, do all of that research, because they do change as well. I tend to give the Xbox prices because it's the Xbox code that I've been given. So yes, just because I'm like, I probably sounded a bit, you know, arsey, and I didn't mean to sound arsey. I'm sorry. But yes, so I'm also doing a copy, giveaway for a copy of this game on Xbox. It is actually, I think it's the Xbox S, Series X and S one. I know, but I felt I had to say it just because it sounded, you know, trite. I think it's the Series X version that I have the code for. I know that it currently also has a Windows stack and an Xbox One stack. I'm fairly certain this is the Series X and S version. So if you don't have an X and S, then that's going to be problematic. Just because I remember seeing someone that completed the stacks today. There are 11 achievements. I don't want to look at them. I forgot to look at how many there were in that other one. Let me just have a look. There were 14. But yes. So yes, I believe this is a copy of the X. I'm playing on the Series X, and that's the copy that I have. I mean, I know that probably the one version works on the X, but I don't think the X version would, the Series X version would work on the one. So there we go. Anyway, a muffled clatter of hooves came from the street. A female figure who was sitting motionless at a table gave a start, setting aside a copper bowl. She hastily headed to the front door to let in a long-awaited guest who, judging by the sound of his footsteps, was already climbing the porch. There was a knock at the door. Coming! Oh, cute. There was a creak of the door bolts, an unpleasant screech. Door hinges cut the thickened silence of the room. Finally, I've been waiting for you. Come on in, Mr. Imperial Investigator. Masters von Wolf. It's most likely that we'll have to communicate very often, so you can call me simply by name. Well, Manfred, you... The girl hesitated, pressing her ginger ears in embarrassment. The investigator noticed it and shook his head knowingly. Apparently it would be too unusual for you. Yes, well... Hey! You've become a baroness quite recently, madam, and you will have to get used to your new status. But if you feel more comfortable, you can call me by my last name. Will it be easier for you? Yes, Mr. Neyman. It'll be easier. Never before have I ever been allowed to refer to purebreds like this. This is all new to me. I understand. Mr. Neyman, did you manage to find my husband? Alas, I cannot please you with anything. But how? How come? We just started touching, and this is not a quick deal, you know. But it has been more than 3 days. The girl lost her temper and shouted, but she stopped at once instinctively. For you, I would not be so worried. How can you say that? Believe my experience, the baron will soon return to you safe and sound. I've already feasted similar cases more than once. Newlyweds often quarrel, separate for a short time, let the steam off, and then come together again. Give it time and it'll work itself out. Yes, we had quarrels like any other newlyweds, but I know my Otto. He could not just disappear, you know, he could not. The investigator sighed wearily, threw his hands up and smiled politely. What are you planning to do next? I need to find my husband as soon as possible. He may be in trouble. Do you understand? The Imperial Police are not authorised to catch cheating husbands by the scruff of their heads and forcefully drag them home, Miss Von Wolf. Why are you talking to me like that? My people checked out most of the taverns and inns outside the quarantine zone. No traces of the ban have been found yet, but I assure you he'll show up very soon. My daughter is not like that. Yes, he left after our quarrel, but I'm sure he has no one else but me. Well, that's great. Then you have no reason to worry. Are you being so mean to me because of my background? Well, no, of course not. Then why aren't you looking for my husband? Don't yell at me, Mrs. Von Wolf, otherwise I'll leave. I assure you we're making every effort to find him, but do not forget that the Imperial Police is still engaged in maintaining quarantine and 4 of the 5 districts of Weidendorf. Our town is small, but the situation is not easy. With the plague, you do not mess. I hope you understand that. Well, I understand. So what are you going to do next? My people will continue the search. The circle is gradually narrowing as he couldn't have managed to leave this area. The guard's order is not to let anyone in or out, so that plague would not get here. The girl gasped and sat down on a chair. She made a couple of sips from her cup and covered her face with her palms. Do you always drink that much? Oh no, of course not. I did not sleep a wink this night after my Otto went missing. I cannot find a place for myself. The tincture of valerian root helps me to somehow control myself. I see, sorry, but I'm not used to seeing noble women drinking alcohol. That's Please stop, Mr. Neyman. Please do not pretend. I understand why you're asking this. Do you? I myself still haven't fully realised everything, but my Otto, being a pureblood, married me according to all your laws. Do you think that I didn't notice our neighbours when we arrived to Weidendorf and settled in this house? Purebloods are not used to seeing people like me besides them, unless we are lackeys or servants, say nothing of the local rich. They do not even want to know their relatives from the lower classes. The whole area is fenced like a fortress. That's right, but that is why the plague from the neighbourhood hasn't affected the local people yet. I won't lie to you, Mrs. Von Wolf. Everything you said is quite true. I do not like it when I am watching you now, but it is so because I'm not used to it, not because I disapprove. I grew up in a small village west from here, and I see many things differently. The situation of your people is unenviable and humiliating, but personally I'm not going to poke a finger at someone simply because their ears are not in the same place as mine. In a way, I even sympathise with you. And if any of my words seem rude to you, do not be offended, as is the professional habit, nothing more. Thank you, Mr. Neyman. Tell me, did you often quarrel with your husband lately? Not more than usual. We got married just recently, Mr. Neyman. Did you write to someone about his disappearance? Yes, I sent a message to his estate in Regensburg, but the pigeon came back about an hour ago. Did the message stay sealed? Yes, it lies on the shelf in the wine cabinet. You can see it for yourself. Could the bird get lost? Although very unlikely, it's not very far. Maybe it's worth trying once more. So you agree that he could leave the town? I doubt it very much, although he is of course a wealthy man. Okay, I will order to send a messenger from the neighbouring frontier post. He will personally make sure that Baron von Wolf has not returned to his old residence. Thank you. And his friends? We have no mutual friends. My social circle was not suitable for Otto, and his circle, well, you understand. What about his parents? I do not know them. After all, we have been married for a little over 2 months. And Otto himself visited them very rarely. It seemed to me that he was trying to avoid them. Why? He did not tell me about it, and I did not ask. Does it ever occur to you where he could go? If I only knew, I would have gone there myself at once. But this is not at all necessary. My advice is to wait for him here, and by all means do not leave this estate. If you get any information, immediately notify me through my man, whom I put to your house for protection. Protection? Hardvin? The door creaked, and there appeared a stocky guard clad in full battle gear with a metal clanging. He came closer and straightened out. From this moment, you are at the disposal of Mrs. Von Wolf. Yes, sir. You are responsible for her protection and safety of the entire estate. The errandar will bring you several pigeons for a fast communication with me if necessary. Do I make myself clear? Yes, sir. It is not necessary, really. Do not argue. These are dangerous times. Quarantine makes many people nervous, and irritated people often act ugly. act ugly, and your safety has recently become my personal concern. What are you talking about? The burgomaster of Weidendorf has taken the search for your husband under his personal control. As I mentioned earlier, the Baron was a very wealthy man. That's what it is. You may go, Hardvin. Yes, sir. And I ask you not to leave your estate. Your husband may return without warning at any time. If I know anything about an accident or a murder, I will personally inform you. Murder? That happens. I've seen a lot while in service. Are you alone in the house? Yes. Good. The dawn is coming soon. I advise you to eat and take a rest. I can barely eat. I cannot sleep. I cannot eat. You shouldn't be like that. The search went on all night and it will continue for some time more. There's no need to strain yourself like this. But he is missing for more than 3 days. That's my fault. My fault. I should have reported his disappearance earlier. How silly I am. Silly. You did everything right, Mrs. von Wolf. Before I arrived here, I reported the town board. There's no need to worry. Along with it, I also handed over your missing persons report. From now on, you will not be responsible for the debts which the Baron could have done in his absence. What debts? What are you talking about? Anything can happen. You share common property. You should wait for the return of your husband right here, and I'll take care of the rest. But I have things to do, Baroness. Try to relax and recover your strength. My best regards. The investigator bowed and hastily left the house, slamming the door behind him. Sophia walked to the window, watching the retreating guest. The girl sighed heavily and slowly walked to the stairs leading to the second floor. On her way, she took a bronze cup from the table with the remnants of the tincture. The dawn haze slowly closed behind her, plunging the house on the hill into silence, broken only by the crackling fire in the hearth. At dawn. The front door creaked and a female figure dressed in a monastic robe appeared on the doorstep. The uninvited guest looked around in search of the owners but saw no one. Is there anybody here? There was no answer. The woman walked deeper into the room and looked around. Mrs. von Wolf, are you here? No response. The uninvited guest caught sight of the ceramic jug which stood nearby. Coming closer, she sniffed. Having caught spicy notes of strong tincture, the woman broke into a wide smile, licking her parched lips. Who are you? What are you doing here? Good heavens! The uninvited guest shuddered with fear and dramatically clutched her heart. Turning to the stairs, she saw the owner of the estate looking at her quizzically from the steps. You scared me, my daughter. Who are you? I apologize for the intrusion, my dear. You are Baroness von Wolf, aren't you? Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. My name is Melanie Allend. For some time now, I'm the prioress of the Scarlet Rose Parish in Weidendorf. Before me, it was the responsibility of Sister Ashby until her old age forced her to retire. You must know her quite well. I'm so sorry, but I don't know her at all. I'm new to this town. It's a pity that you arrived here at such a difficult time for Weidendorf. How did you get here? Oh, do not fear me, my daughter. I was let in by Hardvin. He's a parishioner of our temple and a very kind young man. Do not get angry with him, please. I dared to disturb you at such an alarming time, but the noble image of your missing husband is engraved in my heart, and I came to pay my respects personally. Baron von Wolf was a true embodiment of kindness and generosity for our humble parish. Sophia sobbed shortly, wiping a tear from her cheek. Blessed is the man who makes donations to the temple. Did you get married in the temple, my daughter? Yes. Oh, this is just wonderful. I miss him so much. I'm so worried, sister. I hope that Otto will soon come back to my arms, my sweetheart. This is very cheesy. I kind of love it. Sophia sobbed again, holding back her tears. It was love at first sight. As soon as we saw each other, we realized that we were destined to be together. The prioress smiled politely and nodded knowingly. This is wonderful, my daughter, truly wonderful. We got married in a small mountain chapel near Mittenwald. I remember that day. It was Wednesday. We were alone in the temple, only me and my Otto and 2 bearded vagabonds as witnesses. Oh, it was so beautiful. Do not cry, my daughter. I understand you perfectly. Sophia nodded and stepped aside. She wiped her tears, came up to the table and poured a little bit of tincture from the jug into the cup. Having caught the interested gaze of the prioress, the girl nodded politely, inviting her to sit down. Have a drink with me, Sister Allend. I wouldn't say no, my daughter. Sure, here you are. With a courteous bow, the prioress took the goblet which was offered to her. Here's to the good health of Baron von Wolf. I hope that very soon the will of the gods will help him return home safe and sound. I do hope that very soon my Otto will be here again. I don't even know what I would do without him. I just don't know. Do you still love Mr. von Wolf, my daughter? With all my heart. We were so happy together. After the wedding, we went on a small honeymoon trip to Honey Valley. I never left my home village, you see. Otto opened the whole world for me. Then he got this estate as payment for some kind of debt deal, and without any hesitation, we decided to start a new life by moving here. At first, everything was just wonderful, and then something happened to him, and we began to fight for nothing. We quarrelled and reconciled, we reconciled and quarrelled again. After another quarrel, he hastily collected some of his stuff and left home. This is my fault, Sister Elend. He's so nice, I fear the worst. My daughter, your grief is very sincere, and I sympathise with you with all my heart, but tell me, are you ready to accept the return of your husband without shouting and reproaching? How can you? Of course. If only he would come back to me, I would forgive everything, anything. If only he would come back. The prioress smiled broadly, hastily finished off the contents of her cup and put it on the table. Then rejoice, my daughter, I have good news for you. Your faithful husband is found. And after the mass in the parish, I noticed a man devoutly praying at the altar. That was your husband, Baron von Wolf. Yes, sweetheart, it was him. The Baron sincerely confessed and sincerely repented of his deed. He said he loved you very much, was afraid to go back home, fearing that you would not be able to forgive him. It can't be. It can, my daughter, it can. The prioress went to the front door and opened it, courteously inviting the person standing behind her to enter. Ooh, purple hair. A handsome man walked through the door, throwing a small bundle with his things on the floor. He smiled apologetically and looked into the eyes of the frustrated girl. Sweetheart, please forgive me, Oh. Whoa. Sophia sighed, tilted her head, collapsed on the floor, losing consciousness. Husband, is that you? My daughter, what is wrong with you? Sophia, breathe. Looks like she's coming round. Thank goodness. My angel, thank you for forgiving me. I do not know what came over me that day. It was really crazy. She still feels uneasy, Baron. Bring her some water, hurry. Water? Yes, of course. My daughter, you still feel bad. Do you have perfumes in the house? Sophia moaned and nodded yes. Where are they? On the top shelf, wine cabinet. The prioress nodded in response and hastily withdrew in the indicated direction. Soon she returned with a small matte bottle in her hands. Sprinkling some perfume on her palm, Sister Elend began to rub the odorous liquid into the skin on the girl's chest in order to bring her back to life. Sophia moaned quietly without regaining consciousness. The prioress moistened her palms with perfume and began to rub them over the cheeks of the stunned Baroness. Oh. Thank goodness you came to your senses. Rejoice, my daughter, your Otto is back. This is not my husband. I do not understand. What are you saying? Sister, I have brought in some water. Sophia immediately jumped to her feet at the sight of the person appeared in the room. She recalled to the side. Who are you? My angel, are you all right? Me. Get away from me. My daughter, you promised me there would be no shouts. This is not my husband. How is it not your husband? How can it be? I have never seen him before. Darling, calm down, please. Everything will be fine. Do not come closer. My daughter. It's okay, Sister Elend. My wife and I need to talk face to face, and we'll figure it out. The young man put a jug of water on the table, took out a heavy leather wallet from his inside pocket, and stretched it out to the prioress. The gods will not forget your act, Sister Elend, and I will remember it forever too. The prioress's face lit up. She smiled, gracefully accepted a generous donation from the hands of the benefactor, and bowing, backed away towards the exit. Sister Elend, where are you going? I do not know this man. Take him back. My daughter, you promised not to make scenes. Your husband is at home. I have fulfilled my mission, and the rest is totally your own business. He is an impostor. And pull yourself together. The prioress snorted, hiding a purse clinking with coins in the fold of her clothes. Get him out of here. My angel, calm down, please. Let's talk about it. Sophia pushed away the man who reached out to her and ran out of the dining room, heading to the living room. Hardvan. The front door opened, and a guard ran into the room, holding his hand on the hilt of his sword. What happened, Miss von Wolf? I don't know. Magic. Maybe. Maybe because she's got the ears, she can see through whatever spell is disguising him as her husband, but the humans can't. Or it's one of those gaslighty things, like there's an entire genre of movies where it's like husband or wife wakes up and like entire family acts like, you know, they're part of it and they're like, I don't recognize you at all, you're not the person I married, etc. So it could just be some sort of gaslighting thing, or it could be some sort of magic thing, or I don't know, maybe the plague altered one or both of them. Those are my guesses. What's everyone else's guesses? Getting tea. Okay. Trying to get the lid on my teacup because it had been brewing and I could not. So you got a weird close-up of my face. What happened, Mr. Monwolf? It's all right, Hardvan. Miss just feels bad. Honey, let's just talk calmly. I do not know this man. Do not let him come near me. What's the matter? Honey, it's me, your Otto. My daughter, sit down. You need to come to your senses. Hardvan, this is an imposter. This is not my husband. Prioress? I do not understand what is going on. For some reason, Mistress does not recognize her husband. He's not my husband. Sir, can I have a look at your name identification? Nonsense, honey. I understand that you're still mad at me. Please, let's talk. Please, can I see your identification? What the hell? This is my house. The Prioress knows me. What else do you want? Let's not complicate things. Just show me your name identification and we'll figure it out. Damn. Okay, good. In a moment. Hi, BX. The man hastily proceeded to the bundle lying on the floor in the next room and began to untie it. After a couple of minutes, he took out a scroll tied with a scarlet ribbon and handed it to the guard. Here you are. Hardvan took the paper, unfolded it and began to read aloud. The bearer of this document is Baron Otto von Wolf, who owns the land and personal estate in the town of Weidendorf, located... Signed personally by the burgomaster, madam. I recognize the print of his family ring. It looks genuine. Yes, but is there a picture? Because anyone could have, he could have, attacked the Baron. And it's some sort of conspiracy with the priestess to, get the money. It can't be. Any documents can be forged. I'm telling you, whatever document this man shows you here is not my husband. You have not yet come round, my daughter. Please sit down, drink some water. I'm telling you, I have never seen this man before. Honey, leave these jokes. It is not funny at all. Leave me alone. Get out. Okay, calm down, please. Tell me, you took the pills the doctor prescribed to you, didn't you? What? Nonsense. Leave my house this instant, Hardvan. Get this person out. I'm begging you. Let us all calm down. Gentlemen, we'll work this out. There is nothing to work out. My wife is suffering a health complication. This has already happened during our honeymoon trip to Honey Valley. How do you know that? I was there with my husband. Honey, please calm down. Now, I'll bring your medicines. It's a visual novel. Yes, it is indeed. Weeping Willow. I do not know what is happening yet. Definitely some serious level gaslighting going on, but yes, Weeping Willow. This is the Xbox Series X and S version, which is the type I have to give away. And I will draw the giveaway at the end of the stream. Honey, please calm down. Now I'll bring your medicine so you can sleep. I will laugh at the situation together afterwards, but first you need to rest. Get away from me. What on earth is it? Oh, come on, just like last time. One morning I found her in a similar condition. She didn't recognize me and was talking nonsense. Only by the end of the day she finally recognized her Otto and me. After that we consulted the healers from the capital. I thought their medicines were helping, but It's a lie. You're lying. You only need to enter once. Sister Elend, it looks like I will need some more of your help. I came to Weidendorf not so long ago, and I don't really know anyone. Of course, Miss von Wolf. We'll surely bring your wife to a normal state. The gods will help, you'll see. I'd certainly make it worth your while. There really is no end to your arrogance. This has gone beyond all limits. Hardvan, do something. Do not worry. I sent a carrier pigeon to Mr. Investigator as soon as Sister Elend appeared. Soon he will be here and everything will immediately fall in place. Did you hear that? Soon the investigator will save me from you. Oh, he knows everything and your outrageous venture will not go unpunished. Poor Sophia. Let's call the healer. He will examine you and help you. I understand. You are robbing single women, hiding behind the mess of the plague quarantine. Bastard. What are you talking about, Sophia? Let's all calm down. All right, unnecessary stress is harmful for my wife now. But I'm not your wife. Okay, honey, as you say. You just do not worry. You will take our medicine and you will sleep, and in the morning the sun will shine again and we will forget it all like a terrible dream. You just make me wonder. Why? The Imperial Investigator is on his way and you are still here, and you stay surprisingly calm. I'm worried only about you, my love. What are you holding for me? Only a happy life, dear. This is all I want. I don't understand what you are hoping for, but you do not count on me. Neither on my jewelry nor on my property, and certainly not on my money. You wanted to say my money? Who were you before we met? When we got married, you had nothing, not a single copper coin. Baron? Okay, let's not be petty, my dear. What's mine is yours. The main thing now is to make you feel better. That's it. That's what it is. You've decided to get your hands on my husband's fortune, taking advantage of his absence, scoundrel. Thea grabbed a bottle that was on a closet shelf and threw it at her rival with all her might. He definitely stepped aside, avoiding the shot. The bottle flew past and shattered against the doorpost at that very moment as the Imperial Investigator entered the house. What's going on here? Oh, please give me, Hardvan, damn it, what did I leave you here for? Mr. Investigator, Out. I have nothing to do with it, I swear. Here are the papers of Baron von Wolf. Mr. The investigator took a carefully folded letter from the guard and shouted again. I said out! Yes, sir. There's only room for 3 people on the screen. You can't be in here. Listen, please help me. An unknown man with a chilling composure is imposing himself on me as my husband. I am Baron Otto von Wolf. I'm coming home and I find he appropriated the documents of my husband. Arrest him. Honey, calm down, I beg you. How many times? Silence. Silence occupied the room for a moment. The investigator analysed the situation and turned to the prioress standing nearby. Sister, I had no honour of meeting you earlier. Who are you? My name is Melanie Elend, Mr. Investigator. I am the new prioress of the Scarlet Rose Parish in Weidendorf. Manfred paused for a moment, considering what he just heard. Then he quickly ran over the papers he got from the guard, nodded, and addressed to the rest of the people in the room. Now I'm listening to you. Mr. Neyman. My dear, you put yourself and me in an awkward position. Shut up, please. Do not dare call me my dear. You are not my husband. Well, wait, Mrs. Von Wolf, your husband ran away, right? And when he returned, it was not your husband? What do you mean by that? He's not my husband. Why? Because he is not? Will you ever stop, Sophia? Quiet. I must ask you not to forget yourself. You are talking to the Baron. Sister, what was that? Sister Elend. Sister Elend, I want to talk to Mrs. Von Wolf in private. Leave us, please. Please. What? Baron, I apologize, but I must also ask you to retreat to another room. Believe me, this we will end up with this mess. We will maybe end this mess much sooner? This is nonsense. Baron, I beg of you. All right, but don't be too long. My wife is not feeling well. There's no need to make her worry. Mr. Von Wolf, let's wait in the fireplace room if you don't mind. There is a wonderful tincture in there which will help calm your nerves. Scam. Gaslighting scam. The Baron sighed heavily, threw up his hands and left. Sister Elend followed him, occasionally rattling with the coins hidden in the folds of her clothes. Well, madam, let's start over. How did it all begin? I got married this summer, a wonderful, kind-hearted man. I've already told you all this. And this wonderful, kindest man left you despite all delights of a happy family life? Sophia shrugged her shoulders, confused, and nodded. And then he came back, but you do not want to accept him, right? No, it's not like that at all. This man is not my husband, you see. He's not Otto van Wolf. But this man, as I see it, is ready to prove at any price that he actually is your husband. Sophia perplexedly threw her hands up, not knowing what to answer to the investigator. It turns out quite interesting. Sir, Mr. Neyman, it's some big scam. I don't know how to describe it in words. He wants to get my money. As that's all, are you so rich? Me? No, of course not. I am from a poor family, Mr. Neyman. So it's your husband's money? Yes. Although things were not going very well with him lately, partly because of this, we decided to move to this very house. So your husband didn't keep big money in the house? No. I thought he was a wealthy man. But it is so, more precisely it was. Now he's going through a difficult time. Well, maybe you're waiting for some sort of legacy? How? No, at least not on my side. All my relatives are rather poor. Maybe there's some valuable real estate? Only this house. Otto also has an old manor in Regensburg, but it needs serious repair. It's unlikely that it will be possible to gain a lot for it. Wait a minute. Otto mentioned something about his gravely ill father. His manor was somewhere not very far, but they didn't keep in touch for long, so I don't know the details. Hey, James. Are you married with the right of common ownership of the property? I'm not confusing anything. Yes, this was Otto's personal wish, Mr. Neyman. All of this is in the papers that were provided to the town board when we moved to Weidendorf. Yes, that's it. Sophia gasped and rounded eyes with fear. So that's what he's planning. He wants to declare himself my husband and then get rid of me with some kind of accident. Good gods, what am I to do? And will your real husband allow this to happen? Of course not. That's why we should find him as soon as possible. Help me, please. I'm begging you. And what if you are failing me? I beg of you, Mr. Neyman. You are my only hope. I don't know anyone in this town. I have no one else to ask. Sophia covered her face with her hands and wept bitterly. What about the prioress? What do you mean? Have you met her until today? No, but your man knows her, Hardvin. He let her in when you were gone. Well, wait for me here. Do we have a portrait of something? The investigator walked slowly towards the front door, slightly opened it and gestured for the guard behind it to come closer. Exchanging a few words with his subordinate, Manfred nodded, closed the door and went back to the living room. Hardvin confirmed the identity of Sister Erland, Baroness. He personally met her at the town gates when she arrived at Weidendorf, and he took her papers from the Supreme Episcopate to the town board. I will examine these documents myself at the earliest opportunity, and I will also talk to the previous prioress. Fortunately, she's still in the town because of the quarantine. Do you think Sister Erland could be involved in all this? I do not think anything yet, but I'll need to check it out. I don't even know how to thank you. You are so good to me, thanks. Sophia wiped a tear from her cheek, sobbed and took a deep breath, trying to control herself. Sister Erland, can I have you for a moment? Did you call me, Mr. Investigator? Now I would like to hear your version of the latest events. Yes, of course, my son. Where shall I start? You brought the Baron this morning. Where did you meet him? In the parish of the Scarlet Rose, my son. Baron von Wolf wanted to return home and turned to me for help. He believed that the Baroness would not forgive him and asked me to act as a peacemaker in the current delicate situation. I see. What happened next? To meet the Baron's expectations, I brought him here. Mrs. von Wolf did not recognize her husband, which is why he's very worried at the moment. At first I was puzzled, but then I realized that the Baroness was not in the best health, and well... The abbess spread her hands meaningfully, trying to choose the right words. Do you think she's out of her mind? Have mercy, Mr. Investigator. I am only the humble prioress of a modest parish, and cannot draw such conclusions. But still, she threatened and tried to banish him. The Baron is totally desperate. Okay, so you're sure that the man who is now in the next room is really the husband of Mrs. von Wolf? Hi, Blant! There is no doubt about that. I met him immediately after my arrival in Weidendorf. He made a large donation to the temple and proved himself a very worthy man. It's a lie. Mrs. von Wolf, please calm down. The last thing I need now is your emotions. Instead, I need facts. To prove my words, I can bring at least a dozen witnesses, Mr. Investigator. No, all you have is someone that claimed he's them, that made a donation. that probably wasn't even the husband, then got rid of the husband, and now is trying to claim... Oh! Anyway, I see, Baroness, who saw your husband on the first day of his arrival at Weidendorf. We came here about 2 weeks ago. I got the keys to the house from a local shopkeeper. While Otto stayed in the carriage, he was unwell at that time. Then maybe the coachman can identify him? Maybe, but he left the town before the quarantine was announced, so... Mr. Neyman, I can bring you hundreds of witnesses in Honey Valley. Maybe, but for this you will need to get a sanction from the Burgomaster of Weidendorf, and he will not give it until the epidemic in the neighbouring quarter subsides. Sister Allende, invite Baron von Wolf, please. Yes, sir, at once. Shortly the Baron walked slowly into the room. He was rubbing his palms, trying to warm them. It's getting dark and it's getting chilly. Sister Allende, put some logs in the fire if you please. They are right beside the fireplace in the dining room. You could have done that, lazy sod. Of course, Mr. Van Wolf, no problem. You can splash there a little alcohol, which is on the bottom shelf of the corner cabinet so that the fire can break out quickly. And on your way back, please bring us a little drink to warm up. You can take a twig tincture for yourself and my wife, and a bottle of fortified wine for the investigator and myself. It's in the chest near the fireplace. In the chest? Yes, the taste of wine spoils in the direct sunlight, so we keep it there. You know the house quite well. You know the house quite well? Why wouldn't I? Once again, the investigator twisted in his hands the Baron's name identification and carefully looked at the signature and the print at the bottom of the document. It looks genuine. Why these foolish doubts? After all, you are capable of recognizing the handwriting and the signature of your Burgomaster, aren't you? The messenger delivered a letter, Mr. Investigator. A letter? A letter? Where from? I cannot know. It arrived to the frontier post and then it was passed on here along with the food supplies. Give it to me. You can go. Yes, sir. Manfred looked at the wax seal and twisted the scroll, studying it. I hope no one minds if I open it. Of course not, open it. Mrs. von Wolf? Sophia nodded affirmatively, and Manfred broke the wax seal and ceremoniously unrolled the scroll and began to study its contents. Here is your wine, Mr. von Wolf. Is everything all right? A letter has been delivered, Sister Helene. Mr. Investigator was just about to read it out to us. Were you not, Mr. Investigator? What is it? I'm afraid I have bad news, Mr. von Wolf. Your father died unexpectedly last week. Sophia rounded her eyes, gasped and covered her mouth with her hands. You have my deepest sympathies, Baron. This is a big loss. My father and I didn't get along very well lately. All the same, it is necessary to serve a requiem mass for him, my son. Perhaps you are right, sister. I will pay the expenses. But let it be modest, please. The prioress nodded knowingly. The letter came from the burgomaster of the town where the deceased lived. Mr. von Wolf, will you please remind me its name? This has gone beyond all bounds. Did I ask something offensive? This whole situation is already more than offensive. He simply doesn't know. I will complain, Mr. Investigator. You will see. First of all, I will go to the Burgomaster of Weidendorf and we'll see who is who. Mrs. von Wolf, would you like to ask your husband about something? Enough questions. I'm fed up with this farce. Hey, at least Mr. Weimann, the investigator, seems to be taking this seriously. He's definitely not just going to leave me here and think that I'm hysterical, or leave Sophia here and think that she's hysterical, which I appreciate, because normally at this point, given the setting, it would have been, ugh, silly woman, medicate, clearly making a fuss. Why, after all, I cannot ask anything which you wouldn't know if you really were my Otto. I am sick and tired of it. Okay, all right, my love, ask anything if it makes you feel better. But don't be too strict. After everything that had happened, I could have forgotten about a thing or two. Do not rush to make excuses in advance, Baron, Mistress. Where did we get married? In a small mountain chapel not far from here. What was the day of the week? Wednesday. Oh, we told this to the prioress lady. What was the name of the ship we took to go on our honeymoon? You're confusing something, my love. We hired a carriage. Where did we go? I took you to Honey Valley, where we spent 5 unforgettable days. Your questions have already bored everyone, dear. Not at all, Baron. Ask Mrs. von Wolf. Ask. What is my father's name? Honey, I don't remember. You haven't introduced us yet. But still, I told this to my Otto. I don't remember, really. My real husband would not forget it. I have repeatedly mentioned him in our conversations. ... Baron? Oh yes, his name is Bruno. And the last name? What is his last name? If I'm not mistaken, your father comes from a line of bakers and his last name is Becker. How did you... Is the answer correct? Yes, but... Does it make any sense to continue, Mrs. Von Wolf? One more question. I've got one more question. Okay, my dear, ask. There is only one mole on my body. Where is it located? Mole? I got you, rogue. Mrs. Von Wolf? Mr. Von Wolf, you do not know the answer to the question. You've been married for more than 2 months. Oh yes, the mole. Sure, it is on your right breast, my love. How could I forget about it? What? But how? How did you... Is something wrong, dear? Well, of course. It was she who told him. Prioress? Yes, she rubbed me with perfume when I lost consciousness and apparently noticed a mole. These people are on the same side. I think that it's time to end this conversation, Mr. Investigator. He still didn't answer the question about where his father lived. That shouldn't be hard. You are right, Baron. I've heard everything I wanted. And please leave my estate. My wife needs to rest, and I would like to eat my dinner now. Of course, I will visit tomorrow morning if you don't mind. As you wish. My regards. Will you leave me alone? Prioress took out a little paper sachet from her small pocket and handed it to the Baroness. Drink this before you go to bed, my daughter. This is a sleeping pill. It would help you sleep well, and do not forget to take your medication. I don't take any medicines. Do you always carry sleeping pills with you, sister? Of course, sometimes parishioners come to me too excited. In addition to the spiritual torment, they also suffer physical pains, and a good sleep always helps to ease the suffering. They will poison me. What do you mean? The powder is completely harmless. Honey, calm down, please. I cured you last time and will cure you now. Has this already happened? Yes, in Honey Valley. It's a lie. I see. Well, maybe tomorrow you can get to recognize your husband, Mrs. Von Wolf. Goodbye. You forgot to give me a letter. Oh yes, of course. Here you are. Thank you, and you can keep my name identification for now. Return it tomorrow when you verify its authenticity. Thank you. If there are no more questions, then I don't dare to delay you anymore, Mr. Investigator, and as for my complaint to the Burgermeister, you can relax. I've changed my mind for now. Of course, now he's got the letter, he knows where it's from, and that question is no longer valid. Very much obliged. Sophia ran up to Manfred, dragged him by the hand to the side, and whispered in his ear. Mr. Neyman, help me. Please, I'm trapped. You know, by morning they will do anything to get rid of me. If they are not really the ones they claim to be, then getting rid of you on the first night will be stupid and very suspicious. Lock yourself in the room and wait until morning. I will visit you first thing tomorrow, but at the moment my hands are tied. But I'd like to take my leave now, ladies and gentlemen, till tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Mr. Investigator. Manfred turned and walked steadily towards the exit, closing the creaking door behind him. Sophia looked out of the window. The investigator was giving some instructions to Hardfin while checking the fastening of his horse's saddle. The girl really hoped that Manfred would return, but every moment this hope melted, giving way to fear. Finally, this nightmare came to an end. Honey, how are you feeling? Do not come near me. Okay, calm down. Oh, it doesn't matter. Now you need peace and quiet, my angel. The prioress slowly retreated to the next room. The Baron approached one of the cabinets and started to fill the clay cup with the contents of one of the jars standing there. Sophia looked around and peeked out of the corner of her eye that he was slipping the contents of Sister Helene's sachet into the cup. My angel, drink before you go to bed. This is your favourite tincture. It will help you relax. Sophia looked out of the window behind which the investigator was still talking to the guard, sighed and took the drink offered to her. I do not like my tincture without a mint leaf at the bottom. Of course, how could I forget? Just a minute, I'll get it. The Baron went to the fireplace room, having missed the prioress, who returned to the living room. She looked a little puzzled. My daughter, I apologize, but I have to say goodbye to you. It is necessary to arrange a requiem mass for your husband's father. Are you all right, Sister Helen? Yes, though not quite. It's not important now. How are you feeling? Okay, maybe she was being controlled. Maybe it's evil wizard mind control. I don't know, sister. Everything is foggy. I understand. I will offer a prayer for your health at the evening mass, and by morning your condition will definitely improve, you will see. Don't want to freshen up with the tincture before leaving, Sister Elend? Oh, you are so kind, my daughter. You are as kind-hearted and generous as your faithful husband. Thank you. With trembling hands, Sophia handed over the clay cup to the prioress. The latter politely nodded in appreciation and drank a few sips from it. Honey, I've brought the mint that you... Melanie, no. What happened? Sophia, did you give her your cup? Sophia nodded and stepped aside instinctively when the figure of the prioress began to sink. Sister Elend doubled over and, dropping the cup on the floor, clutched at her stomach. Her breathing increased, her face twisted into a grimace of pain. The woman wheezed, her body bent in painful convulsion, and she fell heavily to the floor. No. Sophia screamed and ran out of the living room while the Baron stood in a daze. Help! Manfred, help! The front door opened and the Imperial investigator burst into the room. He tried to poison me. I told you he would. What? He added poison in the tincture, but the prioress drank my tincture and she's there in the living room. Ivan, block the exit. Do not let anyone in or out. Yes, sir. What happened? Who screamed? The investigator briefly examined the room, but found no body. Stay where you are, Baron. Where is Sister Elend? She left right after you. What's going on? Mrs. von Wolf, well, where is your prioress? She was here, lying on the floor with no signs of life. Here, where you are now, at this very spot. Honey, did you scream? What happened? What did you do to her, you bastard? To whom? Where did you hide her body, you murderer? Murderer? What are you talking about? Mr. Investigator, what is it all about? Hardvan? Search the house, quick. Hardvan nodded and began searching the living room, and he hastily retreated to the fireplace room, continuing his search there. The hell is going on here? Mr. von Wolf, where were you when you heard the scream? I know, right? Horrible man. Not you, him. Otto. Fake Otto. Just to clarify, because obviously you are a man, and I didn't want you to think that I know, I'm just babbling. I'm tired. But I am really curious. I've got 12 minutes. I'm not sure. We've got like over half the achievements. No, I'm going to make everyone buy this game so they can find out what happens. We'll see. We'll go as far as the pinger. I was in this room over there at the easel. I was trying to collect my thoughts after everything had happened. Were you alone in this room? No, my wife was here too. She was drinking her tincture to calm down. I moved away so as not to irritate her. I looked out the window and then I heard a scream from the living room. Can anyone explain what happened? There is no one else in the house, Mr. Investigator. Did you look on the second floor? Positive. Return to your position, Hardvan. Mr. Neyman, the body was here. I swear this imposter did something to it. What is it all about? Honey, stop embarrassing me. This is beyond all boundaries. I'm already sick and tired of all this. It's time to finish this farce. I promise you that I'll get to the bottom of it. In less than 2 days, one of you will be behind bars. I bid you goodbye. You just want to find out what happens, don't you, Dan? The investigator hurried away without listening to anything else. Well, not on purpose. It's just I do an hour. I've done an hour for the other ones. I did slightly longer on Animal Lover because I wanted to get to the end of the day. And we needed to rescue the cat. We'll see where we get when the pinger goes off. If it feels like it's nearly the end, then we'll just go to the end. But the investigator hurried away without listening to anything else. As he stepped out, he slammed the door, jumped on his horse, spurred it, and rode away. Honey, let me bring. Get out! Leave me alone! The Baron sighed heavily, nodded knowingly, and left the living room without saying a word. Sophia heard him coming up the stairs. Only when the bedroom door closed behind him, she slumped down on her knees and wept bitterly. A few hours later, Sophia was still in the living room, deep in thought. Honey, are you going to sleep? If you want, I will sleep on the first floor. Sophia did not respond. She was sitting on the bench by the wall and tried not to look into the eyes of her uninvited guest. Apparently, this means no. Well, let it be your way, my angel, and at least drink your medicine. You will feel better. Sophia did not answer. She turned away, making it clear that she did not want to continue this conversation. I put the medicine on the table in the dining room. Please, take it. If not for me, then at least for yourself. I'll leave you a blanket. The night promises to be cool. Cold. Again, no answer. But better come up, dear. I'll be waiting for you. No answer. The Baron sighed and took a couple of steps back, then he turned and walked away, leaving the girl alone with her thoughts. Did they check in the wine chest? Sophia covered her face with her hands and started to cry quietly. There's a giant chest there. Did they check the chest and the pot? With the first rays of the sun, the door to the von Wolf's family home opened and the figure of the Imperial investigator appeared on its doorstep. Master von Wolf, are you here? Oh, Mr. Investigator, what brought you to my humble home at such an early hour? I decided to call on you before I started doing things. Where is your wife? Last night she didn't want to go up to the bedroom and spent the night in the living room. The Baron looked at the dinner table and sighed heavily. She never touched her medicine. In this case, I suggest going to the living room to visit the lady of your heart, Baron. The men entered the living room looking around, but they did not notice anyone. Where is she? I think I know. Manfred nodded towards the far corner of the room where Sophia was lying against the wall on a plank floor, wrapped up in a warm blanket. The rays of the morning sun were just beginning to lighten the living room and had not yet reached all its corners, so they didn't notice the sleeping girl at once. Sophia was lying almost motionless, just snuffling occasionally and moving the tips of her ginger ears. At some point the Baron even tried to retreat from the living room so as not to disturb this idol, but Manfred had other plans for this. Masters von Wolf, wake up. Yesterday was not easy for her, let me try. The Baron went to the fireplace room and soon returned, holding a clay mug with water in his hands. Wake up, the light of my eyes. Sophia barely opened her eyes. On seeing the Baron standing next to her, she got to her feet immediately. How are you feeling, my love? Here, drink some water. I do not want to drink. Manfred took the cup from the Baron's hands and after a while drank a few sips from it. Have a drink, Mrs. von Wolf. It is plain water. Sophia nodded uncertainly and took the mug in her hands. Sniffing, she pressed her lips to it, greedily swallowing a refreshing liquid. Offer to discuss something face to face, Mrs. von Wolf? Of course, if the Baron wouldn't mind. I would not. I just need to leave for a while, so you'll have plenty of time for this. By the way, I've brought your papers back. Oh, yes, my name identification. Is it fine? Absolutely. Good. Dear, I hope you are already better. We will talk when I get back. Try not to bore her with unnecessary talk, Mr. Investigator. The Baron put the rolled-up name identification in his inner pocket and left the house, slamming the door carelessly. Did you sleep well last night? Sophia shrugged vaguely and shook her head. I couldn't sleep either. I was thinking about yesterday's events and came to the conclusion that this whole story, something doesn't fit. I hope you made sure that these people are scammers. Ooh, nice. It's too early to see that. How's that? There isn't a single argument that would prove that this man is not your husband, Mrs. von Wolf. Well, you feel that something is wrong with him. I can see it in your eyes. You feel it. I'm begging you, believe me. For questions of faith, you should contact the church, Baroness. They handle it professionally. I need facts. Then trust your intuition, Mr. Neyman. Only you can pull me out of the situation. You need to find people who knew your husband well and could confirm his identity. We have been married for a very short time, and since our arrival at Weidendorf, we didn't really have time to meet anyone. You need at least 5 people, Baroness. 5? Not less. But why so many? In the end, some of your witnesses will not want to testify because of the cowardice, and some will have the time to get a gift. I have already seen it many times. So try to find at least 5 people. At least one of them will eventually see what is needed. The web around you is flawless, but sooner or later it will break, and we will only have to wait until the frost stumble and take the wrong step. He believes us. This is great. So you believe me? I will just tell you that from now on you will need to behave much calmer than you did during our conversation yesterday. Otherwise your false husband may declare you insane, and only an experienced doctor will be able to deny it, and they are very rare now, considering quarantine. In the end, it will be your word against his, and you know so far the situation is not at all in your favour. You are right, Mr. Neyman. I will be calmer, I promise you. I will cook something. Yes, I'll go for a walk. No walks. Because of the quarantine, I can't get more people for your protection, and in the rest part of the town there are enough narrow streets and dark gateways you may not return. You think they can dare? Everything is possible. And I will not leave the house. I beg of you, do not take Hardvin away from his post and visit me several times a day. I am very scared. Hardvin will not leave his post, and he will watch over your estate. I've already given him all the necessary instructions. He's got to sleep, hasn't he? I was also given some fresh post pigeons, so you can very quickly notify me in case of a sudden emergency. Mr. Naaman? Manfred. Manfred, if this nightmare ever ends, then I will be eternally grateful to you. As my duty, Baroness? Thank you a lot. I advise you not to waste time. Make a list of witnesses and hold on, Mrs. Von Wolf. Everything will be fine. Sophia smiled back and nodded. Manfred did not smile, but gave us a courteous bow, which was quite unusual for him. The front door creaked, and the Baron appeared at the doorstep. Already leaving, Mr. Investigator? Maybe you could stay for a while. Quick drink. It wouldn't hurt if we two also have a word. I must apologise, but I'm afraid urgent matters await me. I'll definitely visit you a bit later. Okay, come around. I see that your presence has a beneficial effect on my wife. As you see, Baron. Oh yes, remind me of the exact address of your family estate in Regensburg. It is located 2 blocks from the fortress of Pretoria Port, Mr. Investigator. 1 house before the old town hall building. Thank you, Baron. Have a nice tea. How well you remembered the address? But how else can it be, my angel? I'm hungry. What would you like for lunch? The web is weaved perfectly, but sooner or later it will break. Without a doubt. The Baron grinned. And you will see it very soon, my dear. So what would you like for lunch? I'm not hungry. Well, then I will eat out in the tavern and go to the funeral service at the temple. And on the way back, I'll get you something delicious in case you change your mind. Glad you got better, dear. This is a good sign. The Baron nodded and left slowly, closing the door behind him. Try in vain, an impostor, you can't do it. Sophia hastily headed to the 2nd floor, clenching her fists in indignation. After some time, someone knocked at the front door and opened with a creak. Hello! Anybody here? The uninvited guest, another one, they just let themselves in, crossed the doorway and cautiously looked around, and once again tried to call someone. Housemaster, hello! Papa, apparently no one. What are we going to do? Papa, aren't you ashamed of yourself? No. His stomach rumbled loudly and he snorted in discontent, continuing to look around. Okay, Papa, maybe you're right. Let's look around a bit. Just a quick look. Yes, quick look and that's all. Maybe there's Okay, Papa. Pretty coming, you see. Coming. The uninvited guest took a few steps into the room. Hello, is there anyone who can offer some food to the tired travellers? Do not answer all at once and in chorus. And no one will object if the tired travellers warm their bones inside this hospitable home. What are you saying, Papa? Silent means yes. Right, declining hospitality, this is no good at all. Maybe there is someone in another room. Hello, is anyone here? Huh? There was no answer. This is interesting, right? I would even say fascinating. Oh, did you hear that? The uninvited guest froze and became all ears. Shh, there is someone upstairs. What are you saying? No one there? Well, how is that? Where did these sounds come from? Here, again. Yes, someone is in there, Papa. Does he say hello? Why not? What are you saying? We were hospitably let into the house. The least we can do is pay our respects. Yes. The uninvited guest approached the stairs. Where's Hardwin? Hello? Without waiting for an answer, he began to carefully climb up, looking around every now and then. Once upstairs, the uninvited guest found himself in the corridor with several doors. Listening carefully, he figured out the door which the sounds were coming from, and he bent down and looked into the keyhole. A blurred picture appeared in front of the stranger's eye. He couldn't see anything more or less understandable because of the clouds of steam. He looked around cautiously, blinked, rubbed his eyes, and whispered, Can't see anything, Papa. I'll try one more time. Bathroom. This time the picture became clearer, and he managed to see some details. Smiling, the uninvited guest continued to peer and mutter in a whisper under his breath. This is a bathroom, Papa, but there is no one there. The stranger changed his point of view several times to look at the different ends of the room behind the door, but he never saw anyone. No one, but I have definitely heard something, Papa. I'm not crazy. Oh, Jesus Christ. The pinger went off. There was a splash of water and subtle feminine outlines, partially hidden by clouds of steam, appeared in the bath. I mean... The stranger broke into a broad smile, licking his dry lips. Okay. This is probably not safe for stream. Make it go away, please don't peek. This is bad, Papa, I mean... Droplets of water ran down the velvety skin of the Baroness, tracing the wet lines, glittering in the light on her rounded shapes, which she began to wipe with a towel. What? No, I will not steal her panties, Papa. Forget about it. It seems to me, I mean, that for some reason she is sad. Somehow it's not got good, Papa. Let's get out of here. At that moment, the intruder stumbled and lost his balance. The floorboard creaked treacherously under his foot. The stranger squinted and instinctively clenched his teeth. Run, Papa, run, run! Downstairs, the uninvited guest stops for a moment, listening to what was happening on the second floor. No chase. Phew! Obviously, I mean, it was close. What are you saying? Yes, you're right, Papa. Let's go and look around in the next room. Maybe we can find some tasty things prepared for you and me there. Proceeded cautiously into the dining room, fixing his gaze on the pot by the fire. That's what I call lucky. Maybe there's... Well, I mean... You have to look under the lid, right, Papa? Yes, we just have to look there. We just have no other way out. It might be something important there. This is our duty to sense. Achievement seems smooth. Yeah. I mean, we've got 7 so far. Stop! What is it? The uninvited guest froze and plunged into hearing, ears prickled. Someone is coming. Hide, Papa, hide. There was a silence in the dining room, broken only by the creaking of a wooden staircase. Someone was descending from the second floor. After a moment, Sophia appeared in the room, combing her hair. She proceeded lightly to the table and took a clay jug in her hand. Shaking its contents, the Baroness reached for a mug standing nearby. Behind her, as if from nowhere, the figure of the intruder appeared noiselessly. Aha! I've got you, thief! Ah! Who are you? What are you doing here? No, what are you doing here? This is my home. The room fell silent for a moment, and the stranger broke into a wide smile. Oh, how embarrassing, I mean. Let me introduce myself. Valdo Klein, wandering actor, artist and poet in your wonderful town. I am, so as to say, on vacation. Well, actually, I mean, I was on vacation until I was stuck here because of the stupid quarantine. And what are you doing here? Oh, good mistress, I spent this morning near the town water source. Valdo wandered barefoot onto the morning dew, during the first rays of the warm sun. But then suddenly, I mean, my stomach rumbled appealingly, and I immediately remembered that I had not eaten for 3 days. In despair, I thought that here, in the upper quarters of Weidendorf, there must live wonderful and hospitable people who will not leave a wandering artist in such desperate situation. And then I noticed this cute little house. I immediately thought that there would surely be some simple food for the tired traveller here. Wouldn't you happen to have a bit of life-giving soup or a baked roast for old Valdo? Of course unknown. I will return to you everything in a while. Ew! Get out, otherwise I will call the guard. Oh, I beg your pardon, good mistress. If I offended you, I mean, you probably took me some sort of tramp. That's okay, I understand. The rich often confuse wandering actors and artists with the homeless. Do you know why? Most of us do not wash every day. My companion will not let me lie. Popo? Hey, Popo, where are you, my dear friend? Popo, Popo! What's going on here? I don't have the best of times, and I have no desire. Popo, where is Popo? No offence, but once again I must ask you to leave my house. Popo, where are you, friend? Popo! One more second, I will call the guard. Oh! He's a little kid! And the kitty. At this moment, a funny fur ball appeared from under the table. He scrambled up deftly on the uninvited guest's shoulder and began to wash himself, licking his paw. Oh. Ah, there you are, rascal. What a cute kitty. Let me introduce you, my good lady, to my faithful companion and friend, Popo. Sophia broke into a smile of affection. Well, this is the good mistress of this nice house. Come on, Papa. Say hello to the good mistress. Sophia again broke into a fleeting smile. Valdo and Papa apologized to the good mistress. Our business wasn't going very well lately. We had to leave our homeland 6 months ago. Now we are wandering, seeing the world, meeting interesting people. Or more precisely, we're wandering, until we stuck in this pretty town by fate. It is good, though, that the quarantine found us on the square of this upper quarter and not below there. What are you saying, Popo? I, too, would not refuse to have a snack, but the good mistress is sad and asks us to leave. Apologies, my good mistress. Popo, we are not welcome here. You... Wait, please, I'm sorry, you can stay for a while. I will treat you and your friend with something. Bo is very grateful, good mistress. He will not forget your generosity. Don't call me that, Valdo. I'm not a lady. I myself do not know who I am and what I am doing here. Sophia motioned the uninvited guest to come to the table. Then she took a clay plate, filled it to the top with yesterday's stew from the pot, and set it in front of licking Valdo. She put the second plate on the floor for his furry companion. The kitten purred appealingly, jumped deftly off his master's shoulder, and began eating greedily the food offered to him. Sophia smiled and, unable to resist, patted the furry creature by the neck. I'll wait for you in the next room. Come when you finish eating. I will give you some money before you leave. You are very generous, my kind lady. Thank you very much. Meow. Sophia nodded and left the room, not to disturb her guests. Sophia came up to the wine cabinet and, sighing heavily, poured a bit of fragrant tincture into one of the cups standing there. Thinking about something else, she sipped a little liquor and wrinkled slightly. After a couple of minutes, pleased Valdo stumbled into the living room, stroking his belly. No need to thank me. Sorry again for starting the noise. Apparently because of recent events, I forgot where I came from. Trust me, I understand how hard Popo and yours life is. From the next room there came the melodious purring, and soon the source of this sound took its usual place, deftly scrambling on its owner's shoulder. You have to leave, Valdo, now. A lot of things are happening here, and it is better for you not to appear in front of certain people. Here you are. This is not much, but I can't help more now. Sophia raised the hand of the uninvited guest and put a gold coin in his palm. Now I'm begging you, go away. Valdo opened his eyes in surprise. Good mistress, you must have given me a gold coin by mistake. This is a lot. Drink to my health, Valdo, and now I'm begging you. You should go. Valdo and Papa will never forget your generosity, good mistress. We have to thank you somehow. I do not need anything, really. No. I can paint your portrait. Sure, you have subtle facial features, my good mistress. Let me capture them on the canvas. It's not necessary. I'm begging you. You really have to leave. So that's the day, right, Papa? The last time I was holding such money in the beginning of summer. Yes, but then I had to share it with my friends, since they gave us a gold coin for the two of us. It was a trivial job. We witnessed this at some quick matrimony not far from Wittenwald. Oh, it was a great day. Apparently you must be getting sick and tired of me. I'll take a bow off and leave you alone. Wait. Witness? Valdo hastily put a generous gift in his pocket and began to move backwards to the exit. Stop! The guest froze and instinctively shrank, ready for a strike. I didn't do it. You're mistaken. I wasn't in the town at that time. Stop. Wait. Will you come closer, please? Good mistress, you gave me the money yourself. Tell me, Valdo, did you by any chance wear a beard before? Depends on the time of year, good mistress. No, it cannot be. It would be too much luck. Well, it's not much of a beard, actually. It is, not thick at all. Can it be? Sophia ran up to the front door and closed it more tightly. Then she went to the fireplace room, inviting Valdo to follow. Did I do something wrong, good mistress? Tell me, do you recognize me? Listen up. If you recognize me, you will receive an unprecedented gift. I'll recognize you instantly. Well, where could I see you? Come on, remember it yourself. It is necessary that the evidence comes from yourself. Valdo gritted his teeth, digging hard into his memories. Evidence? Take a closer look at me, come on. Valdo got a little beads of sweat on his forehead. Remember, where were you at the beginning of the summer? Valdo breathed with a sigh of relief and loudly slapped his hand across his forehead. Popo immediately flinched and hissed and jumped off his master's shoulder. Sure, I remembered. You are the lady who married a fat nobleman. Fat nobleman? Exactly, it was you. Yes, incredible. It really is you, Valdo. I adore you. Yes, that's me. Hey. What kind of luck it is. I would never have believed it. Who could even think? You are at the top of the list of witnesses. Am I the leader? I agree. Fine, thanks a lot. Listen, are you an artist? Can say so, although rather I am a wandering actor, but lately I draw a little too if they pay. Money, I mean, does not stink. Then I will ask you to stay for a while and draw my portrait. Good mistress, you will not regret. Valdo will try. Valdo will try very hard. Okay, how do I get to the... Aha, save. Right, well, we found a witness to our marriage to a fat baron. I don't think Mr. Purple Hair is particularly fat. We have gallery. Aww. We're not going to look at the bathroom one though. Oh, no. Right. Weeping Willow. Okay, so we are intrigued. Let's draw the giveaway and end the stream, and we'll go raid. I believe Jessie just came online. It's his birthday today. Milo, you may find out what is happening. I will message you the code after the stream. I put a note that you won in my stream card. Congratulations. You can now find out what happens and what is going on in this strange game that I'm very intrigued about, and I will continue. Yeah, you get to know the end. Exactly. So yeah, that was Weeping Willow. Thank you to Sometimes You for the code for streaming that, and ID at Xbox for the code for the giveaway. So yes, I did believe I saw Jessie go online. It is Jessie's birthday today. Hang on, no, it's not today. It's tomorrow. Darn it. Jessie's birthday is tomorrow. I'm a day ahead of myself because I got back from my holiday on Thursday and then had Friday off. I'm convinced that today is Sunday. Today is not Sunday. Today is Saturday. Anyway, Jessie did go online. Anyway, that's beside the point. Playing some ladder. Yeah, it is Saturday. I don't know. It's not his birthday today. It's his birthday tomorrow. But either which way, we can go say hi to Jessie. Who's going to be doing some Zelda. And yeah, and I will be back tomorrow with the last level of Arcade Spirits, styling my Arcade Spirits t-shirt. Today I'm wearing my TA one, which of course is slightly invisible because it's a green. But yeah, so if anyone is interested in purchasing the games today, there's some nice handy links in the chat. Please do support indie games. It is very important, because then more indie games can be made. So yes, but yes, I'll be back tomorrow 3 PM UK time with Arcade Spirits, the final level, and then we have stream next week. We just have standard four games next week. I don't actually know what I'm doing on all those days yet. I have to figure that out. But for now, I am going to go and have some food, rest my voice for tomorrow because I've got to be ready, and I'm feeling a bit scratchy from reading for nearly 4 hours. I do like doing story time, but today. Anyway, thank you very much everyone for being here. Congratulations to Mr. Cornus and Dan for winning the giveaways. And just thank you everyone for watching and participating and chatting. It's all good. So yeah, let's go say hi to Jessie, and I will say I've been Joe, otherwise known as Angel SK, and have a happy rest of your weekend if I don't see you before. Bye.